Havana syndrome attacks. I am about to explain to you what they are, how they are made, what they are made from, the technical name for Havana syndrome attacks, and what makes the Havana syndrome attack, cricket noise, and why some people, mammals, can hear it and some can't. I add the word mammals because household pets can hear the cricket noise and feel the effects from Havana syndrome attacks, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome, as well. I am also going to explain how Havana syndrome attacks, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome, can be detected and how you can tell if you are being targeted by this system. I, Anthony Arellano, have solved Havana syndrome attacks. My family and I have sent hundreds of requests for help to the CIA because we are being tortured by this surveillance system and have been for years, with no response or aid. I have uncovered that America's GPS and GNSS systems are responsible for Havana syndrome attacks, and ignoring this fact is not going to make it go away. And yes, I will give a detailed explanation from years of research to back my claims up. A spoofed direct saturation of a targeted area. Differential vector phase locked loop, which is made with an L1 1575.42 MHz microwave GPS carrier signal, carrier wave, and a digital phase locked loop, creating a pulse microwave differential vector phase locked loop. When a hacker RF is used to transmit this pulse microwave differential vector phase locked loop, it then becomes a pulse microwave differential vector phase locked loop with the ability to spoof a targeted area. The L1 1575.42 MHz GPS carrier signal, carrier wave portion of the differential vector phase locked loop provides global targeting, TRANSPOTATION, transmitting provided by GNSS satellite system, which then makes this a spoofed microwave network cloud able to, by saturation of targeted area, connect to wireless electronics and directly perform phase synchronization locking onto the wireless adapters which connect wireless electronics to a network cloud. And yes, this can be done by spoofing a differential vector phase locked loop, which is being used for hacking, surveillance, and torture. Autonomous automobiles are hitting the road, and Havana syndrome attacks are going to be a major threat to this autonomous system. Havana syndrome attacks are side effects from being saturated with a microwave network cloud, which is direct saturation from a spoofed, global, targeting, microwave, network cloud used for phase synchronization, hacking, monitoring. Here are the parts that make up this system. Please fact check what I am saying. 1. Digital phase locked loop. Able to synthesize and sync with radio frequencies. This works very much the same way a brand new television remote control works when trying to sync with a television, connecting with a radio frequency, synchronizing with that radio frequency, matching it, and locking on. A digital phase locked loop is made up of 3 main parts. 1. Phase comparator. 2. Loop filter. 3. Voltage control oscillator. These work by joining with another radio signal, matching its frequency and locking onto it. 2. L1 1575.42 MHz microwave carrier signal, carrier wave radio frequency. L1 1575.42 MHz is a GPS L-band carrier signal, which is a broadcast radio wave. Broadcast radio waves are created by use of transmitters. This signal can be modified, combined, and used with a digital phase locked loop, creating a differential vector phase locked loop. 3. Differential vector phase locked loop. This is a L1 1575.42 MHz microwave GPS L-band carrier signal, carrier wave broadcast radio wave combined with a digital phase locked loop. This creates global transportation for the digital phase locked loop, providing global phase synchronization and locking onto other radio frequencies. 4. GPS spoofing with a differential vector phase locked loop transmitted with a hacker RF. Turns this into a microwave phase synchronizing, hacking, surveillance, monitoring, global, targeting, network cloud, which works by saturation of targeted area, creating direct wireless phase synchronization with wireless adapters, which are part of wireless electronics. They connect wireless electronics to wireless networks, making it possible for this spoofed GPS differential vector phase locked loop, microwave network cloud the ability to hack, phase sync with wireless electronics on a global level by directly connecting by saturation of a targeted area, creating a tethering target, connecting terrorists, hackers to target globally. Remember, all of this can be fact-checked. Spoofing of a microwave differential vector phase locked loop causes side effects: electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome, microwave auditory effect, hearing, Frey effect, Havana syndrome attacks. Electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome is characterized by a variety of non-specific symptoms, which afflicted individuals attribute to exposure to electromagnetic, microwave fields. The symptoms most commonly experienced include dermatological symptoms, redness, tingling, burning sensations, and itching, as well as neurasthenic and vegetative symptoms, fatigue, tiredness, concentration difficulties, dizziness, nausea, heart palpitations, and digestive disturbances. The collection of symptoms is not part of any recognized syndrome. Do these symptoms sound familiar, like Havana syndrome attack symptoms? Now for microwave auditory effect hearing. Frey effect. This causes swelling of the cochlea and temporal lobe, enabling target mammals, humans within saturated area, creating the ability to hear electromagnetic waves and radio frequencies and whatever is being carried on those radio frequencies, making target think they are insane, hearing buzzing, hissing and even voices carrier on the radio frequencies from within this system that would never be heard without the use of wireless communication electronics. The hearing of electromagnetic microwave pulses is a unique exception to the airborne or bone-conducted sound energy normally encountered in human auditory perception. The hearing apparatus commonly responds to airborne or bone-conducted acoustic or sound pressure waves in the audible frequency range. But the hearing of microwave pulses involves electromagnetic waves whose frequency ranges from 200 MHz to 6 GHz. A spoofed GPS L1 1575.42 MHz is well within the range for microwave auditory effect hearing. GPS spoofing being AL1 1575.42 MHz microwave GPS carrier signal. Carrier wave provides global mobility and targeting for this system. Saturation from this pulse microwave satellite targeting system is what is causing all of the side effects, ailments from Havana syndrome attacks, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome, microwave auditory effect hearing, and being combined with a digital phase locked loop is what is providing surveillance. Since electromagnetic waves, e.g., light, are seen but not heard, the report of auditory perception of microwave pulses was at once astonishing and intriguing. Moreover, it stood in sharp contrast to the responses associated with continuous wave microwave radiation. Experimental and theoretical studies have shown that the microwave auditory phenomenon does not arise from an interaction of microwave pulses directly with the auditory nerves or neurons along the auditory neurophysiological pathways of the central nervous system. Instead, the microwave pulse, upon absorption by soft tissues in the head, launches a thermoelastic wave of acoustic pressure that travels by bone conduction to the inner ear. There, it activates the cochlear receptors via the same process involved for normal hearing. Aside from tissue heating, microwave auditory effect is the most widely accepted biological effect of microwave radiation with a known mechanism of interaction, the thermoelastic theory. So what the target diplomats, civilians saturated in THS spoofed differential vector phase locked loop microwave network cloud used for surveillance and torture or ACCTUALLY hearing is a mixture of electromagnetic induced tinnitus with the combination of a pulse electromagnetic microwave phase locked loop, they all done by being saturated for a period of time. This is why when first responders show up and do not hear anything, it is because their bodies have not had time to absorb the microwave radiation produced by the spoofed microwave network cloud saturated area. A person must be saturated for a period of time with a modified spoofed GPS microwave L1 1575.42 MHz network cloud to be stricken with Havana syndrome attacks, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome, which means if they are experiencing symptoms they have been under surveillance for a while. The voltage control oscillator from the digital phase locked loop controls how much power is fed into this system or taken, so the more, less power the stronger, weaker the electromagnetic phase locked loop, the more, less pressure and sound the target experiences, and the more, less torture the target is put through. Ways to detect a Havana syndrome attack: saturation from a spoofed pulse microwave differential vector phase locked loop. GPS spoofing, which is interference by saturating targeted area. This then interrupts the target's normal GPS signal. This is how diplomats and basically anyone can tell immediately if they are under a Havana syndrome attack. 1. Google search their immediate location, the address they are at right at that moment then. 2. Bring it up on Google Maps. 3. The blue location indicator will be moving independently and at times not even in the approximate location that the diplomat target are in. This system is made up with oscillating electromagnetic waves, microwaves, and radio frequencies. Oscillating, which can be controlled with the VCO from the digital phase locked loop, produces low to moderate forms of radiation which can be detected by a thermal camera. I have proof. Not infrared but a thermal camera. It looks like a glowing wall around targeted area. It also radiates the target's water supply, and that can be seen as well with a thermal camera. This all happens with saturation from a modified spoofed L1 1575.42 MHz microwave GPS carrier signal carrier wave. Global mobility, and targeting produced by it being AL1 1575.42 MHz GPS carrier signal, carrier wave providing saturation of a target to gather surveillance, provide torture, and making target think they are insane, stopping them from reporting these attacks. My name is Anthony Arellano and I solved what Havana syndrome attacks, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome are, and what they do while my family and I are being tortured by this system. For what I know about Havana syndrome attacks, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. We are still being tortured. You now know Havana syndrome attacks are caused by saturation with a spoofed differential vector phase locked loop network cloud. And what this spoofed microwave network cloud can do. Also what causes the Havana syndrome, cricket, noise, and why only some people can hear them and some people cannot. Fact check.